Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I would like to share with you a fantastic game played by Soviet chess grandmaster David Bronstein. His opponent is American chess grandmaster Larry Evans, and this game was played in 1955 during URS-USA match, which the team of URS won with a score of 25-7. Here is what Bronstein writes about this encounter. Before the match in 1955, I was suddenly invited to go and see the chairman of the Committee of Soviet Physical Culture and Sport, Mr. Nikolai Nikolaevich Romanov. The conversation lasted less than a minute. "David Ionovich, I beg of you, please, play seriously against the American team tomorrow. In our Soviet championships you can experiment as much as you like, but this match is important. Will you do that?" I did not have to think about my answer. Of course. I was pleased that I was not obliged to stop my experiments altogether. And now let's see how seriously will Bronstein play. Bronstein started the game with e4 and Evans responded with e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. We have the Spanish game a6, Morphy defense, bishop a4, knight f6, white castles, king side, b5, bishop b3, d6. An aggressive move with which black is inviting white to play knight g5, but Bronstein played c3. Well, if knight g5, then black has this d5 move, and if he takes d5, then knight d4. If knight c3, then bishop d6. Black has managed to neutralize all the threats and the players have equal chances. In our game after d6 we have c3. Bronstein wants to establish this classical pawn center. Knight a5 was played. We have bishop c2. White is keeping alive his light squared bishop. Meanwhile, black is advancing on the queen side c5, and we have it. White is meeting black pawns with d4. Queen c7, knight d2. Bronstein writes, "Up to here the players have followed the well-known path of the Qe4 system in the Spanish opening. If black had now played bishop e7 and then castled kingside, the game would have become a positional struggle. However, Larry Evans, being a very inventive combinative player, found a new way of solving the opening problems. He combined two systems of great chess thinkers, Steinitz and Qe4, and after knight bd2, Evans played g6. Black is preparing to fianchetto his kingside bishop, but honestly the engines don't like this move and instead are offering bishop e7 or bishop d7. Here comes b4, c takes b4, c takes b4, knight c6, bishop b2, bishop g7, rook c1, bishop b7, and bishop b3. Already the threat is d5. That's why Larry Evans moved away his queen on e7 and unpinned the knight. And now if black can manage to castle kingside, then black will solve all the problems, but in here Bronstein delivered a surprise. Can you find his next move? Ready? In here Bronstein played rook takes c6. Look at this epic exchange sacrifice, guys. In here Bronstein writes, "There is a classical rule in chess which says that you can keep your king in the center only in closed positions. But if the position is even semi-open, then you can always expect a nasty surprise." And we have that nasty surprise, rook takes c6. Bishop takes c6 was played, d takes e5, knight h5. Well, if d takes e5, then white can recapture with the knight. If bishop d7, then bishop takes f7 is coming, and then bishop d4. This is a total destruction, guys. That's why after d takes e5 we have knight h5. With this move, black is overprotecting the bishop on g7. For example, now if e takes d6, then already the bishop is protected and black can recapture with the queen. That's why after knight h5, Bronstein first played g4. He wants to remove the defender and then go for e takes d6. Knight f4 was played, e takes d6 is on the board. We have a double attack and queen d7. Black is moving away his queen and is threatening checkmate in 2. That's why, of course, white can't capture on g7. That's why in here Bronstein played knight e5, protected the pawn and attacked black queen. Knight h3 check was played, king h1, bishop takes e5, bishop takes e5, f6, and bishop g3. From h2 b8 diagonal, the bishop will now support the d6 pawn. King f8, meanwhile, black wants to castle by hand, and king g2. First, white is kicking away the knight, after which is launching a pawn storm. h4 is on the board, knight f7. This time we have queen a1. White is coming after this weakened pawn on f6, knight e5, and this time we have g5, rook e8, queen d4. Of course, white could also capture on f6, but Bronstein is not hurrying. He first played queen d4. There will always be time to capture on f6, right? As Thomas Eliot said, there will be time to murder and create. Queen g4 was played, and first we have f3. White is first kicking away that queen as well, and then we have g takes f6. Finally, g takes f6 is on the board, knight f7. It turns out that already the players were in a time trouble. Bronstein writes that the concluding 15 to 20 moves were made in mutual time trouble. The players did not even seem to have time to press their clocks. Here Bronstein played e5, and this pawn storm is actually becoming very dangerous, guys. g5, and this time we have rook e1. G takes h4 and e6. Look at this, guys. I really like this position. These powerful monsters on the 6th rank look simply astounding. Queen c8 was played. Queen takes h4. As mentioned above, as the players were in time trouble, in here Bronstein is missing the easy winning move d7. If bishop takes d7, then bishop d6 check is coming, and if king g8, then e takes f7 checkmate. Bronstein played queen takes h4, rook takes e6, rook takes e6, bishop e8, rook e7, queen c1. Black is looking for a counter play, and we have rook takes e8 check. Instead of rook takes e8, queen g4 could win faster. And if rook g8, then white can go for this beautiful queen sacrifice and then can checkmate black king. But in here we have rook takes e8 check, another exchange sacrifice, right? King takes e8. Even in a serious time trouble, Bronstein is managing to find all those exchange sacrifices. Queen e4 check, king d8, and now white is starting to hunt black king. King c8, bishop e6 check, another inaccurate move. d7 was winning faster, and then white can promote his pawn to a queen with a check, and then can announce a checkmate. But we have bishop e6 check, which is also winning. King b8, queen c7 check. White is simplifying the position, is exchanging the queens, and then we have bishop takes f7, rook f8, and after bishop d5 check, finally we have a resignation. If king b6, then bishop d6 is coming. If rook c8, this time f pawn is marching forward, and this is an easy win. That's why after bishop d5 check, we have a resignation. A very impressive game, I think. In the end, Bronstein writes, white's pieces received invaluable help from their pawns, which were rushing so quickly to the 8th rank that one had the impression that one was watching an athletics competition, not chess, with the pawns racing each other. Thanks for watching. If you liked this game, give the thumbs up. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Take care.